Everybody right into the mic. Swallow. Ew, I hate that noise so much. You have the worst one. Even when we're in New York at nighttime, when you like get up and I'm
chugging water.
I can't even do it fake as
Ready?
loud as you. Oh, I hate that noise.
Seriously, I think there's something wrong with my esophagus.
Maybe it's because your neck's so long. It
just empties,
stretched out.
Just empties like a friggin' drain.
Ew, stop. Okay, you're done. You're cut off of liquids. We are back. The gang's back together, finally. Jess has returned from the wedding, sans an eyebrow.
My eyebrow is fine, everyone. Everyone's harping on me for my eyebrow because some of it is missing, but that
why is it missing?
That doesn't equate to my mental health. It just means that I don't care about hair as much as other people care about hair.
No, it's because Jess is overly competitive and lost a bet. And
yeah, you can't ever turn down a dare.
1.5 eyebrows? 1 3/4.
Yeah.
But like right in the middle, why didn't you take it off the end?
I think that would be worse.
She goes all in. That's Jess's motto. She's just like, no, I'm going to do it the hardest way.
You know what? I keep lives very interesting.
You do. Speaking of that, if anybody's wondering who is here, it's Alicia.
Woohoo!
Welcome,
Hey.
Alicia.
First, this is your debut episode here?
This is Alicia's debut episode. Jess, do you want to give us the elevator pitch on Alicia, who she is?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, wow, unprepared. Okay, I didn't actually read these notes. Was I supposed to? Yep. Sorry, disappointment.
Okay,
that was a disappointment
fine.
face.
It's fine.
For everyone who's imagining Adele. Alicia is our managing director. She's one of my very best friends. She is also our very first employee, and she is my partner in crime at Market as buyer. We've been doing this for a long time, and that I guess prefaces episode 8. Is this what this is?
Episode 8.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Lucky number
Welcome,
8.
Alicia. Welcome. 8's my favorite number.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I like drawing 8.
Oh, okay.
Except I do it 2 circles now. It's like a rebellion against myself.
Ever since she shaved her eyebrow, she's changed.
She needs more rebellion in her life.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, so that's Alicia in a nutshell. Sorry. Welcome to Unveiled, Alicia.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited.
Are you ready to lift the veil?
I am.
Are you scared?
I'm a little nervous.
We are in a closet in Après-Oui.
Yep.
It's going to get real hot real quick in here. But
hopefully the sound is going to be great.
But hopefully the sound, we are surrounded by 300 dress bags to try and pad the sound. So we're going to play some rapid fire questions because this is my favorite part of having a guest.
And we got to get the giggles out.
Yep. Got to get the giggles out. Got to get the jitters out. Alicia's taking off her socks.
She's like, no wool on my body.
They're like full wool socks. So that was a good choice. Oh my God.
Sorry
okay.
if the mic picked that up.
Yeah. Your drink of choice, Alicia.
Oh, easy. Glass of red wine.
Okay.
Every
what
time.
kind? Because we know Alicia.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get into it. But Alicia is a wine. Yeah, she's essentially a sommelier.
Can I speak to your sommelier, please?
I'm absolutely not, but I do enjoy wine, and I've had the privilege of working at some fine establishments that have taught me about wine. It really depends on the day, but I am a sucker for a good Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
I like the balance.
Yeah. Red all year long?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I love red wine too.
White wine is day wine.
Don't drink wine very often, but when I do,
I'll shave my eyebrow and join you.
Pinot Noir.
I'm a dry Riesling. There you go, Jess.
There you go. Thanks.
I'm just kidding, though. I do drink in the day.
I was gonna say we're about to reveal a New York, a New York Alicia that's unlike our accessory queen Alicia. There's 2 sides to Alicia, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I think New York brings out 2 sides of everybody, and it's quite concerning. But it's also
a ride.
It's a ride, and you guys are about to go on it. Celebrity crush.
It's not fair to say that celebrity crush because everyone clearly is in love with this man, Idris Elba. Obviously,
I didn't think that.
I would say my number 2 is John Krasinski.
True, Jim.
What happened to Lenny?
Yeah. Also, what happened to Lenny Kravitz?
Lenny Kravitz is obviously just a good-looking man, but I don't know him.
Alicia had
the way I know John.
Many spicy dreams about Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz was on the top 3 for
That's
years.
What I thought for sure.
I thought you were gonna say Lenny for sure.
No, he's just a good-looking man.
This is the kind of conversation we have in the bedroom at the end of the night of being like, absolutely worn down from every single designer we've seen, and we spent way too much money.
Zero brain power.
And we're absolutely just out of our minds on a beautiful glass of red wine. And we talk about Lenny Kravitz almost every time.
Every
we're in New
time.
York.
Every time it comes up.
Maybe we'll meet him this time. Could you
I would
imagine?
love that. I would
Well,
love to
now you don't
see
even have a
him.
crush on him, so it doesn't matter.
Just
Yeah.
Joe Blow.
Yeah,
walking
just
down,
Joe Blow walking
walking down
the
7th.
street with a blanket scarf. Never met him. No idea. Okay, well, I'll support Jim. Favorite designer in the TMB dress loft currently?
Honestly, Alina has been one of my favorite designers for years.
Yeah.
Really, ever since we picked her up, she's just this creative genius, and her designs and her fit is exceptional.
Yeah.
So I could love her dresses all day.
What is your favorite wedding trend right now?
Okay, so I'd have to say, just because of obviously the designers that we carry, they all kind of bring their own creative spin to their designs. And I'm really loving the freedom that designers are playing with fit and structure. I think like you can find these really beautiful couture corseted gowns that are just absolutely stunning. And then you also have those, the designers are bringing in the silky slips that are just also equally beautiful. And so it's like no body is the same. So why have one dress for everybody? It just kind of mixes it up. I like it.
What wedding trend are you over? Either bridal fashion
Don't
or
say
just
the
wedding in
champagne
general.
tower. I'm still on it. I still love the champagne tower.
The trend that I'm over, I would say, and this is more general, but is just people trying to be the trend if it's not them.
Snaps.
Like I have seen pictures and you see couples and you're like, that's you, 100%. And then you see pictures there and like, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Stop
be you.
trying to be the trends. Just be yourself. Do what you want.
Kind of like they're doing it for the gram and you just like see right through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Not
a great
fan.
one.
Not a fan.
I dig. Okay. Well, I hope you guys all know Alicia more now. She loves
I learned something for sure.
Yes. Apparently she's over Lenny Kravitz, but still into red wine. Alicia in a
that
nutshell.
love will never die.
Yeah.
Okay, so my second favorite part of every podcast when we have a guest, story time.
Oh.
So we're gonna start with story time because that's the only real place to start with market. And we're gonna talk about some of our favorite bridal market moments. And I'm gonna start. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To set this up for when we go to market, we like have full days of appointments, and then usually in the evening there's some type of like designer held party, or we like go out and do some networking.
And drink it off, the stress of the day.
Essentially. Yeah.
Rooftop.
Yeah. Rooftop in New York.
Eat a beautiful meal.
Yeah. I think it was last October. We get invited to this like really beautiful party from one of our favorite stockists, and it's like so on brand, so beautiful. So we go. There's like a fashion show, like a surprise fashion show. So I'm on like the one side of the fashion show, and Jess and Alicia or Jess and Scarlett are on the other side. Me and Alicia are on the one. And I look across and I just see Jess's eyes, and they're just like, she is just vibing. I don't even know that the music is on at this point. She's just vibing. I'm like, oh Lord, somebody help us. Like right in like the front row, like you just see her. Yeah.
I was standing behind the chairs, and then you also, Adele, like the creeper marketing team she is, takes a video of me and zooms in on my face, and you like have this video. It's like right up on my face, and I was like, good.
Yeah.
You
We're
have
just, like,
I can never not be friends with you.
You know, I have a lot of friends that say that.
Yeah.
They're like,
She's the one who's constantly screenshotting Snapchat. I'm like,
it's because
can
my
you not?
fingers are too big and I don't like mean to. And I like, no, it's true. Except for I did, when you shaved your eyebrow, I did purposely screenshot that one.
Don't worry, I got some screenshots of you too.
But okay, good. But anyways, so after this, like we're all feeling good. And then we're like, oh, well, the party can't end now. There has to be an after party. So team is like, yeah, like let's go to this like rooftop and whatever. So
No, I'm pretty sure they asked us.
Yeah, they asked us where we
Yeah.
should
And
go.
we're like,
So we tell
okay, and
them
we
this
took this like bougie, and they're
rooftop.
like, I was like, what's the limit?
Yeah, we like got bottle
They had
service.
to do
and
like a
this bougie
$5,000
thing.
spend or something.
Yeah.
We're like, ooh.
We're
Yeah,
like, there's
and we're
enough
just
of us.
like,
We can spend that.
Is there going to be
There's
more
like
people
10?
coming?
And we're like, well, espresso martinis all around.
Espresso martinis, bottles of champagne. So we go up and we're like having a great time. Like it ended up being like a private-ish party. Like
The last
it's very
vendors.
fragmented.
We made it a private party.
Yeah,
because
and
honestly,
so at this point, like there's just like open bottles of like hard liquor. There's espresso martinis all over. There's champagne bottles that people are just drinking out of, dancing on couches, like on this rooftop. It was absolutely beautiful. And we're like, okay, guys, you know, we got to call it because we have a huge day tomorrow, and it's probably like maybe like 1 or 2 in the morning.
It's at least, it's past midnight.
Yeah. And so we're like,
100%.
okay, it's a very respectable time to leave. So we're leaving and sees us leaving. And of course he's got
We
like
go and
this,
say bye. It's a host. You gotta say bye to your host.
You guys say bye to the host. He has an open bottle of Hendrix and he's like, oh.
I knew Modern Bride was going to be the first to leave.
And if you've ever met Jess, that is just the most triggering thing that somebody could have told her, that
I was
she's
like,
leaving the party.
Pardon me?
and you just
So she
grabbed the bottle from his hand.
Yep, she just literally grabbed the bottle of Hendrix from him, and she's like, well, now we have to finish this bottle of Hendrix. So we all saddled up and drank out of the Hendrix bottle.
Yep.
Follow the leader.
Need to? No. Did we need to go home? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
Absolutely.
swollen feet story.
So yes, and like you guys think this story's over. It's not. So once we finally finished this bottle of Hendrix, I was like, I'm pretending. I was like, we need to go. No, I
No,
had
Adele's
no idea
absolutely
what
belligerent.
planet I'm on.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even remember recording the video.
Yeah. Yeah. So we go to the street. Jess's feet from like dancing in these heels had like
From Amazon.
swollen so much.
And they were swayed too.
They were
sweaty
swayed.
and
She
gross.
takes them off on the streets of New York and starts walking.
And then that can't happen with these girls. So they're like, put them back on. And then
We
was
couldn't
not-
get her foot in there.
It was like a sausage with an elastic band across it.
And so Alicia's filming this and like,
And Adele's trying to put my shoes on, and I'm like, it's not gonna go. And you're like, and you're doing the London accent. I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
yeah, when I get drunk, I get a British accent and it's not good, by the
No,
way.
and it's so insulting.
It's so
And so you're like crouching on the ground in a dress, trying to shove my sausage
in a
feet
short dress.
in a
yes.
short dress, and you're like, I'm not even gonna do it because it's too offensive. But you're yelling at me in a British accent, and we're just like, and Alicia's just dying behind her phone,
It's the
and Alicia ends
best,
up
one of the best videos.
falling
I've ever
asleep
had.
in the cab
Yeah.
immediately as soon as we get.
Yeah. So then we get back to our hotel
sleep
and
anywhere.
again, still in the British accent, me and Jess are like, we need to go find food because it's like, I don't know, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
2:30, 3 o'clock in the
Trying
morning.
to save our lives for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is Pronovius the next day, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so we like we go get food and we got Alicia food, and by the time we get back, she's passed out. But
Face down.
yeah, face down, but completely like she's done her whole night routine somehow. She's like in her pajama set. She's got her makeup off, her hair like pulled back with a headband, like everything.
And I have this beautiful euro for her. Oh, it's shawarma.
Shawarma, yeah.
Such a
Anyways,
shame.
I think that if we can find a tasteful way to show people that video, maybe we'll screen grab what your foot looked like.
Or maybe not.
Adele, I think we saw other bits of you as well in that
You know,
video.
that's what I'm
Maybe.
saying.
So-
Tastefully.
No, what happens in New York stays in New York.
Oh my gosh. And
My
then needless
fat
to say,
feet
like
and-
5 hours later, we needed to be up and ready for a full day of appointments.
And we rocked through. I'm not gonna lie.
Barely.
Was a kind, yeah.
So that's like
Wow,
my
she
story.
goes-
So
went with,
things
like, the
that I
messiest
real.
one.
things that I
first.
learned from that is
Oh, we've
like
got takeaways.
there are some takeaways. The takeaways are maybe eat before you go to vendor parties.
They
Don't-
can outdrink the
yeah.
Canadians, but they can't.
They can't, but you also don't need to
Is that
prove
the
it every
lesson?
time. Every time you're allowed to walk away when you're done.
Mm.
No, she's shaking her head. She's like, no, we don't walk away. So I don't know. Anyways, I think we like ended up showing that we like stood our ground.
Oh yeah. And then we Irish goodbyed
And then we Irish
because
goodbye
I
we're
wasn't gonna get looped into something again. And then there hasn't been a party that rowdy since.
all right, who's got another story
Oh
time
man,
here?
I don't know if I can top that one.
I'd-
Ooh, I got one.
Okay.
Oh, I guess maybe we shouldn't make them all drinking ones.
Yeah, whatever. Like I
have
usually cry every market, so
Yeah,
that's good.
I have a chaotic market appointment story.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah, so market can be a little bit dog eat dog for sure.
Scary sometimes.
You book appointments with designers you carry, as well as designers that you're looking at. And the last market that we went to, which was April, I think that was like the first, it was the big revival market. Like I still think like October previous was pretty big,
COVID, yeah.
right? From COVID, and October was still big.
We went like I'd say a market early than everyone else. And it was like,
and so April was insane. And like we had this appointment with one of our designers, and it was just like there was a swarm of like 25 people that just came in at the same time. That was touching and
so much chaos.
Questions.
Like it was walked in on our appointment.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was just like, so you have to, you have to develop a little bit of a thick skin, but I feel for our designers as well, because it's just like
they also have to fend them off.
Yeah, you gotta respect the designers and what they're doing.
So what Alicia's, if to paint a picture here, some designers book like a private showing where it's in a hotel room, and it's usually still semi-private. You sit with multiple stores, but there are collectives where designers will come, and you have to register for this, but it is open season as press and vendors being stores,
like a really pretty trade show.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we mean.
And designers like bring their new stuff, and you look at it and they show it on models, but you can kind of drop into anyone else's appointment, and it is sometimes quite like you got to elbow some people sometimes. Like you have to kind of protect your business about like who you want to spend time with, and you have to create those relationships in a really weird space.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah. And almost kind of on that note too, with like protecting your spaces, we find that with social media too. Like we want to like bring you along and like tell you like which designers we're seeing and stuff, but it's such a competitive market in the sense that like if we're carrying a designer, there's stipulations that don't allow other bridal boutiques within the area to carry them. And money talks a lot of the time. And I mean, your branding and everything talks, but like we could be saying, oh, we're going to see this. And then there could be an appointment with a boutique that's, local or like within that distance that they're allowed to be, or that would like basically cancel us out. And they're like, oh, actually, we just picked
money on the
morning,
spot. So money on the spot.
You're canceling your appointment. So it's like, it's wild.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Very, very competitive, and because your exclusivity radius is like your shield. Yes. And it helps all bridal stores remain like true to their brand. Yeah. And it also like creates that relationship where you can sell that brand for as long as you keep that relationship good. It's a very, and it's all, it's funny when I talk to other people, other professionals that are like, oh, well, you sign like contracts and like you like legally binding stuff. And I was like, sometimes it's just friggin' word of mouth. It's like, yeah. And you're like, they're like, what? And then you're like, yeah, well, you say before you pick someone else, talk to me. And then they're like, okay. And you're like, okay. Like, obviously we have policies and procedures. Yes. There's not the wild, wild west, but a lot of,
it kind of is.
It kind of is. A lot of the like, what do you say when you're like negotiations are just that. It's like, well, this is what I want and this is what you want. And I'll agree to pick up 10 samples every year if you agree to not pick up any stores. And you shake on it and you're like, here's $30,000. See you later.
And my job to reiterate it.
So just you have a little story. Let's hear it.
I'm going to go way, way, way back. I'm going to go to my very first market.
So what year would that have been?
That would have been, what was
1900?
No.
1990.
Wouldn't that be 2016?
I think it was. April 20.
Okay, so the boutique was open for like 2 and a bit years.
I
3
went.
Years.
I started in June 2016.
So it would have been October. Very ill-equipped for market. I've never been. I've only bought dresses from photos from this point forward. So we've been 3 years. Well, 2 and a bit years. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna go play with the big boys, and I'm going to go to market.
The big gals.
And I'm like, I need an entourage. And so I invite my friends. I invite Dominique and Shelby to pretend that they work for me. And they paid their way, and
they paid their own way.
They paid their flight, and I paid for the Airbnb, which was again about the size of this room,
for them to come fake work for you.
Yep. These are really
those
good
are friends.
Those are friends.
Anyway, so I coerced my friends to coming to New York with me. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Actually, it was fun and great. And I was like, hey, we have to pretend like we're not from Guelph. And I remember the very first market appointment I went to was Tatiana Marinick. And this was like the Penelope and the
great dress.
what's the one?
Marlene.
Yeah. That was that season.
Wow,
and
that just came out of my brain.
yeah,
Like,
it was wild. Nice job. I was like, okay. And I just like, I went into this like private, it was like a beautiful white loft, and I was wearing like Michael Kors wedges and skinny jeans
and a dress up top.
Yep. Hondo P. Hondo P. I if you actually make some sort of visual for this, that
When
is
did that stop? When did that
it
stop?
still goes, still rocks.
I can't believe, I'm shook that you wore jeans to market.
I'll pull up the picture.
I don't think I can.
Anyways, it was just like I sweat so bad, and there's this picture. So Dominique is like, I was like, hey, pretend that I have a media person. Like, I have to put this on Instagram. I spent before Adele came along and before we ever had anyone pretending to do it, like it was a joke how, but you know what? I built a lot. I built a lot, and I faked my way through it, and it was fine. And I remember posting this picture and it being like, I felt like a professional. I felt like I actually knew what I was doing. It was the first time that I was like looking at line sheets with her, and it's the designer's Tatiana, it's named after her, and we're like negotiating what styles are going to do well, and I'm looking at the model and I'm pointing, and I've got this like thinking face on, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm a buyer. Like it was like a moment where, and like and then afterwards I'm like, do you think I did a good job?
She believed me. Yeah.
Do you think it looks like I have money?
Is this like on Instagram? Like, can I dig it up? Okay, I'm gonna go through the depths of it.
It's on Instagram. Oh, sorry. And so the Airbnb that we rented was such a bogan Airbnb. It was like, again, I think it's one queen size bed for the three of us on the floor. You could touch all sides of this apartment. It was like kitchen.
Yeah, that wouldn't meet company policy today.
No. And I think I had to lie too. That was like the beginning of Airbnb. And we had a great time. I think we probably only went to 3 appointments. We did like Tatiana, Haley Page, and like something else, and all the rest we went to like Brooklyn. We went to see the Statue of Liberty. We went. It was like a beautiful full tourist.
Times Square.
Times Square. That's the pictures when Shelby has that amazing skirt.
Yes, she had this beautiful red skirt, and I remember because I knew Shelby from my past life, and I like saw Shelby, and I was like, oh my god, she's in New York on a bridal fashion trip. Like, she's living the dream.
If she only knew that we were drinking like convenience store wine in there, and like I don't think we went to one restaurant. We were just like,
it's a complete farce.
Yeah, it's very it was very, very budget. But that's the thing, I went to spend money on dresses and we had no money, and my mom and Alicia were back at the shop just slinging dresses.
Wow.
And it was the first moment that I felt like, yo, we're like players in this game.
Humble beginnings. I love that for us. So now, what's the one word that you would describe, Alicia, what happens when TMB goes to market?
That's so hard.
I'm a lover to break the rules.
Okay.
I can't pick one word. Okay. So I would say beautiful chaos.
Ooh.
I was like, I had to pick two. It's just one word does not encompass the roller coaster of market.
Yeah.
So beautiful chaos.
Yeah.
I'll have to explain it. I would say business bonding. I feel like market is such a combination of like so much work. It's like everyone's just like, oh, it looks like so much fun. I was like, it is so much fun, but it's so much friggin' work. I feel like business and bonding, I know they don't go together, but those two words, you don't know a lot about a person until you share a room with a bunch of bunk beds. And so it's like you get to know.
Oh boy, that is the truth.
You get to know more as like it is a team bonding experience a little bit.
Yeah.
But you also are just like buckle up because you just work like all day, and then you go home and you do like work at night. If you haven't had too many glasses of wine,
about work,
and they talk about work, you just don't stop. And then obviously it's like a work hard, party hard, because you're like gas, but you're also like, okay, we're in New York. Like, let's go to this beautiful restaurant. And
let's just
and
make
that's also
every moment.
Yeah. And that's part of the brand. And that's
the
part
perk.
of bringing you guys along with us. So it's like when we're out tasting wines, because Alicia and Jess have got us into another contest and have
a
bought
great story.
7 bottles of wine trying to guess what it was. We're bringing you along, like, because it's the work doesn't stop. And I think that's a very good point.
So you laughed at me and it was a good one.
There's no dull moments.
That's true.
There are no dull moments in market.
And if there is, we have a major problem.
And if there is, it's because we're sleeping.
What would you say is the best find, like a sleeper pick that we've, designer wise, that we've picked up over the years? Sleeper pick is like, sorry, that's like a football thing.
Yeah, that's
fantasy
a sports
football
term.
thing.
Yeah, so like, is that
But
sleeper? What is
Like, who were you like, we picked up this person before they hit it big. This is our best find.
Oh, it's Alina.
Yeah,
for
Alina,
sure.
Alina, for
Alina,
sure. Yeah, she had produced one collection, and we picked up her collection in 2018, and it blew us out of the water. Yeah, it was the Art of Loving. It was like,
And we designed that custom dress.
and we designed the custom dress, and we were like the first. I believe we were the first in Canada to carry it, and it was amazing.
I think it's that was one of the things that when we were talking to my mom this morning about budget for market, that I think people don't really realize, because Alicia and I, as primary buyers, you kind of have to just be like, this is going to be good, guys.
you
just have
to convince people.
have
You
the
look at it,
faith.
you have to like trust your gut, and then you have to look at the designs and be like, I think this is going to sell, and I think this is going to sell in this color and this size, and we're going to invest thousands of dollars in it. And you just have to have faith that they're going to back you on that, and it's going to sell, and they're going to produce what they say they're going to do. It's a lot of like faith based, where you're like, I really believe in this.
Yeah, in the designer, but then also, like, for reference, so people get this, is we're buying in October for dresses that will be sold the late 2024, early 2025 bride.
Yeah.
So you're like,
it's got to hit later. Yeah. We do a lot of research and a lot of prep in order to
Yeah,
be
we
prepared.
start preparing essentially as soon as market's done. We start preparing for the next one.
Yeah.
well, Alicia hacks up a lung. I'm going to tell a classic Alicia. Oh my God. So Alicia, prior to becoming a mom, was the absolute queen of the carry-on bag. All of us would check. We would have like 18 pairs of shoes, tons of clothing options, like everything.
New York
Alicia
is unpredictable.
100% weather-wise, like in
would you say
April
it's
and
30?
October. Yeah, it's like 30 there. Ridiculous. Not okay with that. That's not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be fall. And so we were at Billy Bishop, because we've
Porter, baby.
that's it. And
Plug it,
we
plug
were, so she had her carry on, and me and Jess check our overweight bags. Like, it's all good.
No shame.
And then all of a sudden, the lady at the desk is like, "Oh, your carry-on's overweight." And this was like, if you guys could see Alicia's face, this was a tragic time in your life.
That zipper was screaming.
And so she had to unpack her stuff, and she takes so much pride in her carry-on. Had to unpack her stuff and pack it into our
Fairly
oversized.
Yeah,
stuffing
bras,
things
underwear.
in.
There's this gentleman just hovering
Open
over
at
me
the
as I'm
ticket
doing
counter.
this. I was like, "Excuse me, sir. Boundaries. There are my private things in here."
And so would you say that was like your moment that you just admitted defeat on the carry-on?
Yeah,
Because she hasn't done a carry-on since.
You know, I was trying to save this company a bit of money on this trip.
$42.
Yep.
Thanks,
It goes
Alicia.
a long way.
I think it changed when you went to London and you didn't have options that you wanted.
Oh yeah.
You were like, fuck it. I
Yeah,
need options.
I needed more options, and it's just like, again, we're doing multiple outfit changes a day, and
That's the thing. Like, I think that's what people like when we even like line up all the shoes that we bring and stuff.
oh
Like,
yeah,
you have to have at least 2 outfits per day.
at least.
And you have to have it like an alternate, because sometimes like Alicia and I have several of the same shirts, and Adele and I have several of the same tops, and you're like, are you wearing that today?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I was gonna
true.
wear that today. And you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, I gotta an
And,
alternate.
like-
Bring in the alternate.
And you can't be like too matchy.
Yes.
'Cause
No.
Then, like there's a whole science behind.
But we
the
did
outfit.
kind of coordinate
That
not
blue
on
day?
purpose.
That blue
but
day was
we
a
had a
blue
blue
day.
day where we
Yeah.
were like, we're all
Accents.
wearing blue.
And I think it was like once we were at one appointment, we're like, oh wow.
You had blue
Yeah.
pants, and I had the blue pinstripe dress.
Yeah,
and I
Alicia
had
had
blue top.
Yeah,
and
Britt was
had-
wearing a blue dress
or
or a
a blue
white
skirt or
She,
something.
no, she had like she had a blue top and the white skirt or something like that. Yeah.
That was not intentional, but everyone did comment that we're like
blue team.
It just seemed
that's
like very.
I hate it so much.
But we didn't like match.
No.
But we looked like we had thought about it, which
Cohesive.
it was like concerning.
It was a little concerning. It was
But
a
you
little...
guys will always bring more shoes than I will. Like I'm more about the shoe that I love.
Practical
And comfortable and beautiful.
Yeah,
the Alicia Gibson story.
Practical, comfortable, beautiful. Memoirs.
Oh my
Moments
gosh.
by Alicia.
Okay, what would you say? I'm going to kind of like give you guys two that you can do. Like, what would you say? Because Alicia, you already touched on your most like chaotic market appointment. What would you say was your like market appointment where you're like, we made it? Like your biggest market appointment that you're like, damn.
It's tough because I think it's not necessarily about an appointment, I would say. It's more, this is like
Always off doc, this girl.
Yeah, sorry, I am off doc here. But I would say it's not necessarily about the appointment, but it was about like how we were included as a vendor and as a store. And I'm going to plug Maple Love.
Great vendor relations.
Yeah,
Like
really
if
do.
you ever, like, I've never felt so appreciated by a vendor. They just do such an exceptional job. And it was the moment where we got to ride the double-decker bus in London to the Made with Love party. I was like, I was just sitting there and it was so crazy. But I was sitting there and I was like, man, this is epic. Like, I just felt on top of the world that day. And I've had lots of moments with our designers, some big like that, some small, but that was just like being a part of that was incredible. And I felt very recognized and very privileged in that moment. And it was a party. It was awesome.
Yeah, and the ticket to ride the bus was doing a Jaeger bomb, which
Yes.
was so fun. And Donna had her very first Jaeger bomb that day. And I think
Jess and I had to explain what a Jaeger bomb was. We're
and
like, take us back.
I think it was Carrie from Ivy and White who also had never done a Jaeger bomb, and she drank them separately.
Yes.
I was like, oh no, girl.
They didn't have the cups.
Yeah, she's a party, by the way. We love Carrie. We'll see you soon. All right, Jess, what is your we made it moment or your like most chaotic bridal appointment, or not bridal appointment, market appointment?
I think because I felt like my other story was about making it, I think I will say the first time we went and saw Sarah 7.
Oh yeah, that I was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's great that you're talking about it. Bamboozled.
That's I remember you saying that word too, and I was like,
Yeah.
I remember getting out onto the street and being like, it's like you left a movie theater and you're like, oh my god, it's so bright out here.
Yeah, it was
Where was I?
3-hour appointment.
Yeah, because we were seeing so many different lines, and it was just like, I just feel like I signed my firstborn away, and I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm also really scared. And we should go have a cocktail. And we did. We walked over to that really, really nice, like when they had all those COVID patios.
Yes. Yeah.
And we had lovely lunch. We had a salad, and we all sat in silence for a couple minutes. And we ordered really lovely, I think I had like a lavender cocktail or something. And it was like, we just sat there quietly for a minute and we're like, what?
Yeah, you guys had a salad. I had a pasta. I was like, I need to
eat my feelings.
Need energy now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was chaotic and wild and exciting. It was like you see all these new dresses in her New York flagship, and everyone on her team is like chaotic and devoted. Like they just like live and breathe the brand, and it's fun, and it's all like these like beautiful, spunky, that's a bad word, but just like exciting women.
They're ready to go. Like,
They bring the market energy.
Yeah, and they bring something just exciting, and every time you go, because it is like, it can be very, clerical, where you're just like, okay, we're picking this dress in this size and this color, and these are the dresses we're choosing, and this is the contract that you sign, and everything like that. But it is exciting, and it's like they really
and they care too. Like
they
like
do.
Like Michael sits down and we shoot the shit about his life.
Yeah. Michael's Sarah Seven's brother, and he's their like CFO.
I think he's CFO or
CFO. Yeah.
So
just the financial stuff.
Yeah, and he's funny, and like you forget too. Like I think Sarah 7 and I think she's like maybe 1 year older than me, maybe 2. And you forget, like, as professionals, like, yes, I'm old, but like we're all like, we've grown up in this industry now. Like, I don't think that the 3 of us are very far off from most new age designers.
Yes, agreed.
And so there's a little bit of like an intimidation factor, but then you realize that we're all just doing it together. And I remember when that happened, where I was like, I'm talking to Michael, and he like lives in Nashville, and he has a wife and a kid, but his kid's like really young, and I'm like, you and I are probably the same age. And it's like, you are CFO for this business and I'm CEO of my business, and we're shooting the shit about dresses on the couch with a glass of champagne. I was like, this is a wild friggin' world. Like, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And I think like one of my favorite parts about Sarah 7 anytime we go there is, you guys kind of touched on it, but it, like, she just brings the vibe. And as our branding girly, like, I love to walk into that space, and just the energy, everything matches exactly what she's selling. So there's no, like, I think some designers like we could go to and you're like, it's maybe like a bit more subdued or something, and you're like, this doesn't, it's not like selling.
I'm not a bride.
It doesn't like
I don't
match,
need to buy
you know
a dress.
what I mean?
Like, I don't like those ones that are like, oh, like there's some romantic music going on and we're having tea, and it's like, not that we need to drink, but it's like they're making it seem like you're I don't need you to sell me the dream. I need you to sell me design, and I need you to sell me, I want you to believe it in your face.
And it's like cohesive with what they market, right? Like, so it's yeah, I don't know. I think Sarah 7 does a lot of things phenomenally, and showing up there, you just know that it's going to be a party and it's a great time. I'm going to talk about my like made it moment. Like, I was going to talk about chaotic market moment, and it was definitely the first time we went to Sarah 7 that I was like, what happened here? Like, and we were just so overstimulated. It was amazing.
This is your made it moment.
Our made it moment, not mine personally.
Us as a business.
Us as a business, I think, like,
and probably your hand in it.
No, it wasn't even that. It was, so we went to, it was my very first market. So it was October 2019. And we go to this one designer who shall not be named for reasons I don't want to talk about. And we show up there, and at the time we were the best selling store of them in Canada. We were doing exceptional. And it was our very first market appointment. I've never experienced this before. We walk in, we see the collection, it's all beautiful or whatever, and they're like, okay, so like, which ones do you want? And Jess just goes, well, we'll buy the whole collection. And I was just like, pardon? Like, that's what we did. And I was just like, we can do that. And I was just like, this is the most boss ass moment, that she's just like, so we're taking the whole collection. And like, the designer just looked at her, and I was like, what? Like, it was just a very cool thing, because I'd never experienced that before. And I didn't think like I was like, wow, like, knowing how much money that costs or whatever, I was just like, wow, that's like such a boss move. Yeah, it was a very much a flex. And I think God, there's so another we made
there are so many. It's really hard.
A personal we made it was when Carly and I were in Barcelona seeing Pronovius, and we went to the fashion show, and we saw Chuck Bass in real life.
I don't know
just about died.
Chuck Bass?
Yeah, he was at the fashion show.
Yeah. I remember you told me this.
Yeah,
okay.
I just about died. You don't know who Chuck Bass? Pardon.
I never watched Gossip Girl.
Oh my God. You need to watch Gossip Girl before we go to New York. You have a week.
Blake Lively.
Go ahead.
Come on.
It's so good. You'll love Chuck Bass. He's so traumatized and like.
Oh yes, I know who this. Okay,
yeah.
From TikTok. I have not that I don't know what Gossip Girl is. I just never got on the bandwagon, and then I didn't want to be on it.
That was One Tree Hill for me. OC was my thing.
So we're walking out of the fashion show, and this person like turns around, and she's kind of like double looking at us, and I'm like, oh, and we're just like all walking out, and she like stops, and she's like, hi, and she has this like beautiful Australian accent. She's like, you're the modern bride, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, Adele? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh my gosh, I just want to say, like, I absolutely love everything you guys are doing. And she has this like shop in Sydney, Australia, and like it was just like such a cool moment that I was like, what?
Whoa.
People know who we are?
What?
So yeah, it was a very, very cool moment. I loved that. That was my own personal hype girl moment. Well, let's just end this market chat with, my God.
Let me do a big sniff and it'll be fine. Okay.
That's literally, I don't know if that's worse than your gulping. That is worse than your gulping.
You're lucky I didn't loogie it.
We're going to end this segment of the market chat with, what are you most looking forward to?
I don't know if I could say.
What?
Do you have one, Adele?
My thing is I'm excited that we're bringing the podcast on the road. I'm actually very nervous about it because like I feel like I've watched
Because you
so
put
many
unrealistic expectations on yourself?
I have unrealistic expectations because I'm watching like Call Her Daddy when she goes to Milan and stuff, and I'm like, okay, so how does she have the mic connected to the camera? I'm like, Adele, she has a fucking production team that follows her around. Okay, you are the production team. You're not gonna curb the expectations. Yeah.
Closer? Could you do closer to the mic?
I don't know why that just reminded me of my favorite market moment.
Oh, okay.
And guys, okay.
Okay.
Set the scene.
We're getting there.
Me, Alicia, Jess, Scarlett in the Plaza Hotel, maybe? No, it was another hotel. Very, very fancy down the street from the Plaza, maybe. I don't know. We're like looking around. All of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye. You know, you guys
I
know what's coming.
The Lottie.
The Lottie.
It was the
Okay, we're at the
Lottie.
Lottie Hotel. Look it up. It's freaking beautiful. I think we were looking at like the gold leaf ceiling. Okay, so we're in the Lottie Hotel looking at the gold leaf ceiling. Out of the corner of my eye, I actually hear a very distinct voice, and I'm like, what? Out of the corner of my eye, I just look, and I immediately like clam up. Like I have the most starstruck moment I've ever had in my life.
Scurried over, you're like, oh my God.
I scurry over to Jess
like,
and Alicia, and I couldn't even speak. I was like, guys,
You squeezed my hand so hard.
Yeah. I was like, guys, Shaquille O'Neal. Like,
and I'm like, Shaq?
yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, Shaq's there, guys.
You're like, shh.
Yeah. And I'm like, shh.
I was like, where?
Yeah, you guys are looking. And for anybody that doesn't know, I am the biggest Shaquille O'Neal fan. Shaquille O'Neal, I think I was more starstruck seeing Shaquille O'Neal than I would be if I saw Taylor Swift. Like he is my
wow.
Yeah.
The relationship goes longer.
Yeah, like he was my childhood hero. I had posters of him in my room.
I think your brother would say that you have an inappropriate love for Shaquille O'Neal. Anybody that
came to my wedding knows how much I like Shaquille O'Neal. Thank you to my brothers for exposing me like that.
Developing that story.
Yeah, we'll not leave that on the podcast. So we see Shaq, and then I'm like, okay, like whatever, he's not. I take creeper photos of him talking to people, and then we go because we're like, guys, like we're gonna be late for our appointment. So we go, turn the corner, Shaq's waiting at the elevator for us.
He's right
guys, I can't even speak. I cannot speak.
Adele is absolutely melting in her shoes, and we're like,
and then I have sweaty palms talking about it right now.
And he has like the loveliest like small talk with us.
Yeah, he's like, and he gives us the elevator comes in. His like security guard's like, all right, Shaq, like this is yours. He's like, no, these pretty little ladies can go. And then we're all like, we're pretty little ladies. Thanks, Shaq. And the door's shut.
Little. Yeah,
the door's shut, and I'm like, I was flabbergasted.
He was so like polite and lovely, and I think that he clearly could see it all over Adele's face that he just made her
this
entire
little
year
5'2",
and she got married that year too.
What?
And you got married that year too.
Oh yeah, like it. I honestly, like I immediately start texting people. Like text Steve, and I'm like, oh my God, I just met Shaq. Like my brothers, like everybody, and they're like, and Alicia, I remember just being like, I can't believe you didn't say anything to him. And I'm like,
she was.
Silent. I could not speak.
I get it. Yeah,
you guys were nice. You guys had a nice convo with him.
Shaq, like I don't know, not like Adele does.
It's true. It's like the weirdest. Like if anybody could have picked the celebrity, like Shaq, really. But all right, on that note, we're going to go with the outro. So this is a doozy of a question.
It's from the audience?
Well, this is from the audience. My brother met his now girlfriend, in quotes, 2 weeks ago at a bachelor party in Nashville. He came home completely in love and texted me at the airport that he would like to have his +1 back. He previously RSVP'd without a +1, despite having the opportunity to RSVP with a +1. Now, 2 weeks before my wedding, he is asking to bring a girl he met at a bachelor party. My brother is in the wedding party, and the girlfriend of 2 weeks, it'll be 4 weeks at the wedding, will be alone for the majority of the day. She's planning on buying a plane ticket from Nashville to attend the wedding. I feel this is an obvious no way. Don't invite her, but my soon-to-be life partner is siding with my brother and thinks we should make the concession and invite her. Am I the awful sister for not allowing this?
Go, Alicia, you go first.
Juicy.
This is juicy. And it's funny because this is not the first time I've been hearing a very similar story like this. I would say that I would love for her to be a part of something after the wedding. Like,
so diplomatic. Alicia should run for
include
president.
her in something else, but really paint the picture of how this day is going to be for her. Make it about her a little bit and say, it's not me, although logistically I can't put her on this list because our caterer won't allow it. But it's also more about, like, paint the picture for her. She doesn't know anybody there. And if this person means that much to you, is this the time when you can't take the time to really introduce her to everybody, to just allow her to be, you know, herself? And this is, maybe she is a very social person and that's great. This is a, you know, but I just feel like that's so much pressure for her as this guest. And I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag on the girly pop. Like, I think that,
You know what,
it's
though?
like,
The younger generation has no fucking boundaries.
Yeah.
is that what it is? Because
Yeah.
like, I would be mortified. If
This is an
I'd be like,
etiquette thing.
oh, have fun at your wedding. Like, can't wait to see photos or something. I wouldn't be like, I'ma buy a ticket and crash this thing. Like, I would feel mortified because I would be like, oh, I've never met the people, like you said, Alicia. Like,
They're
never.
in love.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
in
maybe
love.
this is the beginning of their love story. I'm two minds about it. I can be my elder millennial and say this is not fucking etiquette, and a wedding planner and being like, we're not doing that. That's also not your place to. Sorry, no one should ever ask for a +1. Sorry, this isn't your party.
Yeah.
No.
But, no,
And it's not your moment.
it's not
If
your
the
moment.
name's not on the envelope, but
Yeah.
he had a +1.
Okay, well then that's a loophole thing. And I just feel like etiquette wise, you don't ask for a +1. Don't ask for Joe Blow's sister-in-law because you haven't seen her in 100 years to come, blah, blah, blah. That's baseline. I think that it depends. Alicia made a good point. Like, how does this girl fit into your friend group? If she can vibe and you're really chill and this ends up being great. I think it's bad etiquette, but I think that you can definitely make that work if you feel like it is going to be a good time for her. You're still going to be able to be attentive to your sister, who's the bride, and participate in all the things that you're doing as the front, like the leader in the bridal party kind of thing. Like, I think bridal party responsibility, like even at Allie's wedding, I felt like Colin, I didn't hang out at all because I'm maid of honor. Like, I had a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I also probably barked at him the whole time. I'm like, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And like, there was a lot of things where bridal party isn't, we've already done this, but that's a lot of responsibility. So if you feel like you can juggle your role and she's going to have a good time and you're clearly bold enough to ask for a +1, if the fates allow, I guess, but it's bold.
A lot of pressure on that relationship
Yeah.
for me.
At
Yeah,
least you're
because
so
like
practical.
you wouldn't include them in the family photos.
Like,
It's been
yeah,
2
you're going to be
weeks,
like,
right?
you
family
imagine?
only, ma'am, move to the side.
And like, oh yeah,
It's
I don't.
uncomfortable.
I don't. So
and
I don't think
inappropriate.
that she's the awful sister for not wanting it to happen, but it clearly sounds like it's already in the works.
I think
so.
that we have to be aware too that as like Gen Z comes up, like we've let go of so many traditions with weddings, right? Like, and we're like all proud of that. Like, who does the garter toss? Meh, 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 meh. But they're gonna like rewrite the rules on a lot of things that like not even get married.
And then we get to be the old people that judge it.
Yeah, like we're moving
Yay.
into that phase of our lives.
The
where we get to
last
sit-
great outfit.
Oh yeah, Alicia, the last great outfit. That's what she said when she came to my wedding. She's like, "This is the last great outfit I'm ever gonna wear because the next
all my
wedding's gonna
friends
be
are
like
married.
when I'm an old
Someone's
auntie."
aunt.
Alicia's not gonna
funeral.
have another wedding. For
I'm not going to be the
25
young
years.
person going to the
You don't
wedding.
think you're gonna go to any more weddings?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe bring it to New York. The last great outfit.
I rented it.
That was a great
dress. All right, pals. Well, I guess
Wow, we
we'll
could gab
see
all
you,
day.
Yeah, we
We'll
could.
see you in New York.
Yeah, baby.
That's it.
We don't have our fucking sign off yet. God damn it. Oh, my mom said I shouldn't drop so many F-bombs on this fucking podcast.
Oh my God! Stop.
Okay, are we done? 'Cause I really-
Okay, let's go.
Okay, bye.
Mom bladders.